I will fight. I will fight for you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Step Ahead program. And today we have Dawn Stressman from Streamline. She has been with us for several years. She's a lead account specialist, and she wants to go over some reports that she thinks are extremely helpful. And she's also been doing some work with them as we release Meerkat here, which is released on June 1st. She wants to show you some of the newer additions to the reports that she really likes. So we think this is going to help you out. She's really excited. So I'm going to hand it over to Dawn. And Dawn, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be here today with Carlos. So there's a lot of really great reports in Streamline that I think are sometimes underutilized. And one of my favorite reports is what used to be called the property address list. So we're actually renaming this report the property details report because it's so much more powerful than just pulling the property addresses. So whenever you go here, it looks like a very basic report that's going to pull just some key information. You have some sort options up here by neighborhood, location, and it shows the address, of course. You can do a search up here if you were searching for addresses or something like that. But the best part about this report is the custom export setting. So whenever you click the custom export setting, this gives you a ton of information that you can export to Excel from your property and sort to your heart's content. So here we have all of our standard fields that are going to be on your house details tab.
Dawn, you need to select all on here for the for
Oh, we purposefully didn't do a select all.
Why is that?
Just because people would abuse it and they would just select all.
You want to make them work, that's why.
Yeah.
Work for the data that you want.
Well, usually they're looking for something very specific. This isn't necessarily like I just want to data dump all my information.
Well, I look at this almost, this can be an audit for a lot of these companies though too.
Oh yeah, for sure. We could probably do a check all in each of the individual like areas. And I think that would be...
It even pulls the custom fields. This is pretty good.
Yeah. So before it used to not do any of this stuff. So it pulls the amenity, which a lot of clients are really excited about. The custom fields, and it pulls the property flags as well.
What about like HomeAway type amenities? Are those in here? And Airbnb?
Well, it's going to pull all amenities as an option. So you can go into each of the different sections. Wow. It's not going to tell you if it's a HomeAway amenity, but you can go ahead and click off whatever you want to click off. So one of the great things about this is whenever you do the export, you can just do a ton of sorting to find out where you're missing information. And that way you can fill in the information so you know that everything is filled out appropriately for all of your distribution channels and your own website.
So you're going to love this, but because you're creating this file, it would be good if maybe for our next release, maybe for Falcon, you can talk with Andrea, but if I downloaded this, it'd be really cool if I could upload it back up as long as I change the headers.
Yeah, so we might be able to do something like that.
Yeah, so basically I'm doing most people want to do an update on Excel just because it's, they're so used to Excel, that's what they want to do. And they can make a lot of changes, at one time here. And even as using this as well to import and create new units.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if they're going to have this as a template, then it'd be really simple for them to create units. I know people always ask me, they say, I want to create 15 units, but before I do it, before I take the time to do this. So this right here would be pretty good because I've already asked them to do something like this. So yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, so and it pulls information that you weren't able to really get before. And so you just save the filter settings and export. And so whenever you do that, it will only create an Excel file. It doesn't show on the screen. Let me pull over my Excel.
Don, I do have one comment.
Yeah.
When you do this, if you let's just say, I think we need to add the select all, but if you add the select all, just make sure that this gets queued, because if not, some of the large companies, when they do this, I mean, unless this has no impact, this may not have a big impact on the server. If it does, I can see this is a lot of data for companies with hundreds or
yeah, that's why we didn't do the select all before, but if we could put it on a task tab, no problem.
Yeah, and a task tab is fine because it looks at resources, and it basically gets processed when it's not going to impact the system performance.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously I'm in a test system right now, so I don't have a ton of information, but right here, the standard occupancy and the max occupancy, this is data you couldn't easily find before we put it into this report. So a lot of clients are pretty excited about this.
Great.
Yeah, so it's very exciting, and the amenities are great too.
That's another thing too, is if it would save the, how like in the reservation analysis report where it basically saves your field. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so it just has an X if you have it selected, and then nothing if it's not selected.
You know what I'm saying with the it's like a template. Because you could do if you don't want to do the select all, just because it does sound like a kind of a scary thing to do, but you could have templates. So
like the res analysis has saved.
Yeah. So
selections.
Exactly. So you could do the window that you popped up. You can save something as a
or
template, or use custom ones here. I mean, it doesn't matter.
And then here would be like custom export templates.
Exactly.
And like the marketing team could just say, I want to run the marketing report.
Yep.
Because the marketing team is looking at some different things than maybe the operations team and stuff like that.
Yeah, because then it doesn't matter. They can build their own select all, whenever they want as one of the templates.
Yeah, that might be a good idea to have the option to have saved templates here for like custom export templates.
This is cool.
So yeah, but it gives you a ton of information, and clients, they're used to using Excel anyways, and so they really like the flexibility of Excel, of being able to sort and filter and stuff like that. So
this is perfect for right now, because they have time to go through and make sure all.
Oh yeah, definitely. So one of the things that we are working on with this,
but there's more.
But there's more.
Yeah.
So I'm in a sandbox environment right now. I'm in our March sandbox environment, and so this is where we're testing some of this information. So this is my little test system that I have. The thing that I'm really excited on this is the owner fields. And so we get a lot of questions from clients that are that say, I want to know my commission splits for all of my units. And we don't have a way to give them that report. So here I can basically check all of this information.
So this is basically the report that started out to make the to print out email label or mailing labels. Do you remember that?
Maybe.
That's what this was originally. This was
I took it and I just took it over.
That's great. Hey, you know what? This is what people want, so this is great.
So I was like, hey, we have this report that has a lot of information already. So
I love it. You're gonna excite a lot of people.
So here you can see the current owners and the ownership percentage. So like on this unit, you can see that Zelma is a 50% owner and Amber is a 50% owner. Fun fact, Zelma is my mom and Amber is my sister.
Now they know a lot about you.
So, but here it's going to show short-term standard, short-term paying guest of owner. Basically, any reservations that you have defined commission splits, it's going to pull into this. If you're not doing long-term, it's just going to say NA because that unit is not a long-term unit. And so then it just gives some additional information, if you're using reserves or a minimum account balance, reserves are going to be for our legacy clients, minimum account is going to be for our trust clients. But this is a report that a lot of people have really been asking for, because they sometimes want to make sure that everything is set up correctly, and to be able to look at it in a bulk way where they can just kind of zoom through it and see if they see any discrepancies.
What about the target balance for, is that what the minimum?
That's what the minimum account balance is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the minimum account balance would be for trust clients, and then the reserve account balance would be for our legacy clients.
All right. Yeah, no,
so yeah.
This is great. I think, if you can talk with Andrea and
yeah, for sure,
figure out a way where we could, because we were going to, one of the things we're doing is, are you familiar with length of stay pricing?
A little bit, yeah.
So,
I hear things from Dez's team.
Okay, so we're building this. We're kind of doing something very similar, which is going to allow people to do their pricing in Excel. And,
okay.
Yeah, and because we're already building this. Length of stay pricing is basically where today I set my pricing for the next 365 days, as if somebody were to book a reservation today for 2 days, today for 3 days, today for 4 days, and then for tomorrow I'm going to repeat it again. So what happens is that you, instead of pricing per night, which is the concept of adding up each night, people who want to have people who have like a 7-night minimum, but they want to have like a 3-night minimum as well, so that they can make sure that they're getting as much as they can from a reservation. So then today I could say, hey, my 3-night, I'm willing to give 3 nights, but it costs as much as 7. I'm basically telling the system what prices I'm willing to give somebody who rents today for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then tomorrow for 2, 3, 4. I mean, depending on how low you want to go, right?
Right.
And then on top of that, you'll be able to do it for the number of guests. So I may want to do, I may have a 2-bedroom, right? And for 4 guests today that want to stay 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, normally it goes up to about 30. I price it right now. If I want to price it for 3 guests, I can do that as well. You see what I'm saying? That's more for like the larger places where, they want to price it so they can make more money if they have 10 guests, but they're willing to take a little bit less and still get the booking with 9 or 8 or 7. So and the reason I brought that up is that we're approaching that with the same mentality as what I was talking about, is we want to have it so that they can export the file and they can import the file. So since they're going to do that anyway, then we're just going to do it so they can set their pricing in Excel as well.
No, that's awesome. I think, the more control we can give back to the clients to be able to like do whatever they want in here, like without obviously breaking things. But
hey, this is great. I mean, the one thing I would say is that when you do the import part, we will have to have the screen that goes to Excel, which is going to obviously run off to the side, but we'll have to have that for them to preview the process, because we don't know if somebody does something that they didn't mean to do, that's going to be their only time to really review, right? Because the only thing we can do is we can verify that the headers of the file are what they're supposed to be, and then once you process it, we want to show, okay, here's what you're going to do, and before we do this, just make sure you agree.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to Andrea about it for sure.
But this is great.
Yeah, I really love this report. So
I'm telling you right now, this is going to be very exciling to people. So
it's like the little report that could. So
it is. This is the hidden. Who would have known to go here though? And if you click on this blue button, custom export settings. You can get everything your heart desires right there.
So anytime anybody asks questions in the chat of like, where can I find this? And I'm like, property address list. But
Man,
now obviously it's going to be the property details report. But yeah, it's just so great. And over time, I want to add even more to it because, like, you know, people want to have a place where they can find all of that information at once. And so the distribution channel settings is a big one of they want to be able to see all their units kind of in a list and see that information from the distribution channel settings and descriptions and stuff like that. So
this is
eventually.
great. Thanks for representing the property managers, Dawn.
Yay.
All right, good work. All right, have a great weekend.
Okay,
thanks
thank
everybody
you
for joining, and thank you, Dawn, for this unveiling of what everybody's been wanting. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
I will fight. I will fight for you.
So you prefer voice?
Yeah, but I mean,
that means you go on bloopers automatically.
I
That's,
can go on camera, I suppose.
it's up to you because you could end up on bloopers anyway. But
yeah.
Oh, you're at work?
Yeah, I've been holding down the fort this whole time.
Wow.
So
Anybody else there?
It gets a little lonely at times, but
now there's like nobody there.
I think my title is just a lead account specialist. I don't think I have like a special title.
Like a cool title?
No, I don't.
That's it. That was easy, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
I think I'm a superstar when these people see it. When you started this, I'm like, I hope she's not just gonna tell us that this is the great report that she's built. I'm like, wow, I'm like, there's the filters. You're like, you have these filters, and I'm like, well, you know, this doesn't really do anything, and then you bust out the custom export settings.
This is amazing. And
it
so,
is. That is good.
You're like, why does Dawn think this report is
I know.
special?
I'm like, this is not that good, you know. But
I will fight. I will fight for you.